the masquerade that you have been seeing from the US for the last 40 years. And it's interesting that people don't really realize how the billions of dollars in the US that the US is using to fund wars, these billions of dollars are actually not really leaving the US. And this is one of the craziest one of the craziest scam that I ever seen, where everybody's applauding when you use democracy to fund the wars around the world and actually generate a ton of money that actually never leaves the US. Imagine that when the US says we're going to send 100 billion to Ukraine, for example. Actually, most of that money never goes in Ukraine. Here's the business. You have to understand the business. It's crazy. You say, all right, we're going to give you 100 billion to help you fight the invader, right? In these 100 billions, actually, we send you 40 billion or 30 billions that are gonna be used to pay all your things, pay the people that work with you, and of course a lot of that money, because it's a corrupt government out there, a bunch of people will probably put that money in their pocket, and some of it will be in the economy, but the rest of the money is what's the most important. 70 billion of that money stays in the US of A, where it is being used to pay for the weapons that the Americans are sending to Ukraine, to Israel, to anybody that's in war and that they consider the good guys like them. But they don't send them money so they can buy weapons where they want. Because listen, if I tell you, hey, listen, AK, I need to buy some bread. And I say, okay, here's $10. Go buy yourself some bread. You get out the house, right? And you go buy bread in your favorite bakery. Now imagine if I'm telling you, hey, I'm going to give you $10, but you cannot buy bread in any bakery. You have to buy your bread in the bakery that I own. But it's even worse what they do. They say, hey, I'm going to give you 10,000. This is what they say to the media. This is what everybody's like, oh yeah. But in reality, they never give you the $10. They give the $10 to the bakery that they own. So they don't even tell you, hey, no. They give the $10 to the bakery, and then the bakery produce the bread, and then the bakery sends you the bread. So you don't even have the choice of where you're gonna buy your bread. And that's the thing. When you see bombs coming out of on Gaza or bombs that are whatever, the weapons that are in the Ukraine war, these weapons are manufactured directly in the US by US companies. Because you're not going to go and buy weapons to Iran or to North Korea, my friend, or to France. We are actually pretending that we are giving you money when in reality we are giving ourselves money to help you fight a war that we created. So listen, this is an amazing scam. This is the best scam ever. You chilling in your house, there's nothing wrong. All of a sudden I'm here, I'm telling you, oh, listen, you are the good guys, these guys are the bad guys, and we need to help you bring democracy. And you're like, demo what? I need that? Yeah, you need that. Boom, the war begins, and we're gonna fund you with sending you weapons, and we are gonna create money and then send this money to our manufacturers of weapons. And these people, after that, are of course gonna give us a cut of the money, us the politician who take the decisions, and whoosh, the money comes back to me. So now imagine if you give 100 billion to a country, 70 billion stay in your country, go in the American companies, and then maybe in the 7 billion, the 70 billion, maybe 7 billion, 10% of that go back to the people who took the decisions. So you make so much money that actually seeing all these people butcher themselves and kill themselves actually makes you money. This is the next level best scam I've ever seen. How to make money with the suffering of other people. And by the end of all these wars and all these problems here and there, all these countries will be ruined. And what will they need to rebuild their countries? They will need money. And then you who helped destroy these countries, you will say, listen, we have great construction companies that can come and help you rebuild your economy, rebuild all these buildings with our own material from our own companies. So we're going to pass a bill of 80 billions to rebuild Ukraine. And this money, we will not send it to you. No, we will send it to our building companies. And these companies will go and rebuild your country. And the money will stay here. And we'll get rich 2 times. We get rich destroying your country with the excuse of democracy, and then we get rich rebuilding your country. I gotta say that I'm inspired by this. This level of evil is inspiring me. And listen, this reminds me of Section Zouk. When we were at the top of the Zouk game, I was looking at the CEO of Section Zouk and how he did his business with music. So he had the studio where the music was recorded, was in-house. Then after that, we had a deal with a factory that we were building, printing and creating all the CDs in this factory. After that, we had the 2 biggest radios in France, which were Média Tropical and Tropic FM. And those 2 radios, they had people that worked in the radio that receive a little bit of money every month. In exchange, those people would play our music in priority. Everything Section Zouk was always number 1. And everything else, you play when you can play. After that, in Martinique and Guadeloupe, he had the same deal with a bunch of radios. A bunch of clubs, and some hotels. So that when the summer comes, when the Christmas holiday comes, he brings all the artists in Martinique, Guadeloupe, Guyane. The hotels, they let you stay for free or for very cheap for 2 months. In exchange, You give them a show for free in the hotel with all the artists, and then after that you go to all the clubs, because every radio had also its own club. So you had Moule FM, they had their own they had their own club too, etc. So you go with these guys and you tell them, hey, listen, you play our music, in exchange we do shows for free in your club, and the people come to see, and the money just stays in. And then after that, he would go see the Carrefour, the big shopping centers, the mall, and he say, listen, the music playing in the mall, you're gonna only play the music from this label. In exchange, we do a deal. In exchange, we're gonna do some shows for you. And so that after that, when the mall has to play for they have to pay for the intellectual rights, all the money that they will spend comes back to you. And this is what you call a closed circuit, where actually the money that you spend just comes back and then rolls like this. And all you need to do is do some hits. And that's it. Listen, it's not exactly the same thing, but this is how the Americans are able to use democracy as an emergency, and the emotions of the media to have the Congress pass laws when they accept to fund, to save these people from evil. And then after that, once the money is out, it's printed by them because they control the world's money. And then once they control the world money, what they do is, well, they just print some, give to their own company, and their companies make money. These companies pay taxes. Tax go back to the government that created the money. And then these people will fund your campaigns and give you donations and etc. So, and most of these people who are doing the laws in the US, they also own shares of the companies. So they're gonna make money from the dividends, from the billions of dollars that these companies made. These politicians are making money. The corruption is amazing. Hell, yo, bravo.